When I think of Jake and his accomplishments, I'm not sure if there's words to describe how proud I am of him and how strong of a person he is. His work ethic and how he cares for people, it just warms you all over.
What keeps me driven is trying to make other people smile. And I think sports is where you can use it as a platform and express your opinions and beliefs. I give all those guys credit that try to make the world a better place. I'm Jacob Herrit. I'm a senior at Knox High School, and I play baseball and football.
Some of my earliest memories of Jake in sports, I guess, has to stem back to baseball. When he started playing baseball, it was kind of an anomaly to me because I was always a football, basketball guy. And he decided he wanted to play t-ball. I said, he won't want to play after this year. And sure enough, he loved it. So I wanted to learn as much as I could so that we could go out in the backyard or we could go to the fields and play and practice what he loved to do.
When I was 7, I'd play on the 8-year-old All-Stars or 9-year-old All-Stars, and that's where it really started with the coaches and took off, and I started excelling, and it just never stopped.
Baseball, football, he'll play them all. I wouldn't have to really ask him or tell him, hey, go out and swing the bat or go out and shoot hoops in the driveway, or always had this work ethic to train and that drive to get better.
My love for football started when I was probably 3 or 4, and my dad would sit me in my high chair and then we'd sit there and watch football games together. It doesn't matter how you are off the field. You could be the nicest person. It's just like switch flips, and I think that's the coolest thing.
He was just that athlete. You know, those kids that grown up that are just good. He's always had an arm. He's had a cannon of an arm. He's been clocked at 86 miles an hour on the baseball mound. He can probably throw a football 45, 50 yards accurately. He loves football, but he has a passion for baseball.
Coaches, please certify to the umpires that your players are legally equipped in uniform under NFHS rules. Yes, sir. All right, guys. Good luck today.
Good luck, Coach.
Good luck to you.
Have a good one.
Good luck.
There are two different types of players, really. Those that do a lot of talking and rah-rah guys, and then those that do just kind of let their play do the talking. And Jake's always been kind of a quiet, let my play do the talking. And he's a guy who could play anywhere on the field, also could hit anywhere in the lineup, do whatever you need him to do, bunt, hit for power, anything. So I look at Jake, and I think his teammates look at him and just see steady confidence.
Number 25, Jake Herrit.
Jake, come on, Jake.
Go, Jake! Go, Jake! Right there, man! Right there, man! Go! Out away!
When I walk onto the field, it's just, you have to have a good mental approach to things. I learned from my freshman year, they had Navy SEALs come in for the baseball team, and they said nerves are when you're worried about yourself. So I try to get rid of the nerves by thinking how I can help my teammates. Talk to them before the game about the game plans and everything, and that gets my mind off myself, and that calms me down.
I mean, I can just speak to the amount of time that he puts in outside of the season. I know that he's worked with several different hitting coaches and things like that. He's always trying to get better. Outside of what we do as a team are still working on their craft, and that's what he does.
I've been working with Jake since he has been in 9th grade. What really struck me about Jake was not necessarily what he did on the football field. It was actually on the baseball field. What I noticed is that the stage was never too big for Jake. Just in football alone, he played cornerback, he played outside linebacker, he played quarterback, he played receiver for us. I mean, he's played just about every single skill position that there is, and all of them at a very high level. So when you see him on the field, everything he does, whether it's football, whether it's baseball, everything is aggressive with him. Jake has so many qualities, but I would say the one thing that makes Jake stand out from a lot of other athletes that I've coached in the past is his goodness. He's just a very good human being.
Jake, what are you doing the rest of the day?
Have training.
What time's that?
4.
Okay.
Before I committed to West Point, I went to try out for a Mid-Atlantic team. Coach Gonzalez was friends with Coach Foster at West Point. He saw me hit. He really liked me. Ironically, I was going to a camp the next weekend to West Point. And so I get up there the following week, and I did really well. At the end of the camp, they made 4 kids stay, and they took us up to the football stadium, and they offered all 4 of us right there. And it was just like, holy cow. I verbally committed February 2017 to West Point.
It was a roller coaster of a year. There was a lot of success, but at the end of the day, the appreciation was not there, and he felt like I need to hone my baseball skills a little bit more.
I go into the summer, and I see that there's a coaching change. It caught me off guard. I did not see it coming. Then December, I realized that maybe it wasn't the best choice for me. So I decommitted, which was one of the hardest decisions I've ever made.
I felt terrible for him at that time because that was such a huge decision to have to make as an 18-year-old boy. And he decided that that's what he wanted to do, that he wanted to make his own path.
It was hard because it was just like no Division I programs have any room left or any money. I've talked to probably 3 or 4 schools pretty commonly, and they were about to offer me.
You know, in the following weeks, he was a little bit bummed, a little bit depressed about it. You know, he just really felt like he let the community down, he let us down, he let himself down. And within maybe a month, we get a notification that he got a national scholarship for ROTC.
I went up to Gannon, and I fell in love right when I got up there, and the facilities and everything, coaching staff and the academics there, it was just like I couldn't pass it up. Later on, I called Coach. Probably like 2 weeks later, I called him and I said, I want to commit.
His eyes lit up. It couldn't get any better than this, right? So he gets to serve his country, go to college, and play both sports that he loves.
I've known Jake for 4 years now, and this year as a senior I have him in a class called Service Learning. It's not like a traditional class. The point of it was to try to improve community, whether it was school community, the community at large. I think when you see kids, especially when you're fortunate to see them from 9th grade through senior year, I think you see a lot of changes. There's a maturity that comes along with it, and I think that Jake has been able to succeed and to mature, and I'm sure he's going to continue to mature as he moves from this place.
To do the service work and give back to the community means a lot to me. It annoys me to no end when athletes have the pedestal that they have and don't do that, because I feel if I ever made it that far, giving back and seeing people smile, it just gives a self-fulfillment, and it's such a humbling experience because not everyone gets opportunities that I have.
When Jacob won the Maxpreps award, I was so proud and so honored and just unbelievable, but it doesn't surprise me because he is a wonderful, standout young man.
He's a well-rounded student and a great athlete. To be in competition with all the student athletes across this nation is unbelievable, and to have Jake picked out as a winner for this award is fantastic.
Obviously, Maxpreps is pretty big, and for one of our guys to get to be recognized by them, I thought was pretty awesome. I mean, that makes you proud as a coach to have a kid who would say that, and to have a group of kids who are like that.
He wins this Maxprep Athlete of the Month award, and I read it, and is this for real? Did this just happen? What he does every day is he chooses to live life the right way. That's just something in him that he really brings out. And sometimes I look at him and think, I wish I was that tough.